What the fuck happened? Why am I over there?
Uh,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Wardcast, your weekly source for video game news, machinima, and survival horror discussion, updates on the ward, and more. I'm your host, Sean Clark, alongside Alec Funnel.
Time for another solid joke. Uttercon asked me if love could bloom even in a battlefield. I took my pants off and showed him my solid snake.
Carmen De La Cruz.
Hello, everybody.
And Lee Funnel. What you got there, Lee?
It's my what do they make you hold when you're in prison? When you
My
take the
chart.
photographs? Yeah, that's it. It's my chart.
Is that the tracking number? Everybody can look it up.
Yep.
Uh,
But hi,
nice.
anyway.
Are you at the prison?
Yep. It may look like I'm in my room, but it's actually Toluca prison.
He's like, his
Terrible
home
about
is a
Sean.
prison. Okay.
Yeah,
I've been there
It's
many
terrible.
times.
it's hell.
It is. It's not a good time. But yeah, hello everybody. Jazz is not able to make it this week, as you can see. It finally happened. She missed an episode. Here we are, the end of an
Woo!
era.
That's for a good
So
cause.
for a good cause,
Yeah.
What's
Food?
that?
For family
family. Psh,
Yeah.
and turkey.
psh. Do they
Yeah,
even have?
family.
Do they have turkey?
I
I don't even
think-
know what their holiday looks like.
I
weird.
think they have turkey. It looks like Alec is wearing the check, the Canadian, the flannel.
He's representing the Canadians
Yes.
in her
Yes.
absence.
Yes, with his
Yeah. And Lee's got a scarf. That's it's cold in
It-
Canada. I don't know.
It is. It's not so cold in the prison, but it'll work in Canada.
There
uh-oh.
you go. It's a double
wonder-
whammy.
I wonder if the prison is in Canada. That might explain a few things.
Does Canada even have prisons? Like they just smack you on the wrist and say, "It's sorry about that." Hello, survival horror fan. All right, so this week I had to play a lot of news catch up for Jazz. The
News
goal
busters?
was to have like just a massive amount of news for this episode, but like it took a lot of time to review and pick the articles and that were worth talking about and all that kind of shit. I had to go through over 300 news articles over the course of over a month. So like, I mean, I didn't go through and read 300 news articles, but like, just line by line by line, I had to go through everything that happened over the last several weeks. So it took a really long time. So I picked all the ones that we'll talk about, but yeah, I ran out of time. So today I have, I think, 7 news
Seven.
articles. 7. So we'll talk about that this week, and then next week will probably be like the news episode because, yeah, that'll give me time to go through everything that I kind of narrowed it down to and pick and choose out of that, and then yeah. So yeah, next week, lots and lots of news. A little bit of news this week. There you go. But with that said, I did not have time to make the graphics for the news, so we're not going to have the fancy images that we usually have. It's just going to be straight news, and that's all you get. I tried.
Straight as opposed to
Gay news, come on, get with the program.
There you go. But yeah, now let's go ahead and get into the week. Yeah, this week we're going to be talking about Until Dawn. Physical video games are still relevant, and a new Tomb Raider collection is on the way, and more. But before we get into that, Alec,
Hi.
you can go ahead and kick us off this week.
It's been nice and short. So, I only played WWE 2K24, watched a bunch of stuff on YouTube, and played my show and tell, which is new to me, which is Dolmen.
I think I have that. I haven't played it.
I haven't heard of it.
Isn't it like a kind of like a Souls-like?
I believe so.
I don't think it's Souls-like because when I played it, you can reload and just go somewhere else, it's a bit easier. You can put it on easy mode, I think. But I was checking online, checking yesterday. It says 2 to 4 players, network players.
Ooh.
So like, I think it's potentially something we can all try and play together. So,
Yeah, like I said, I have it. I'd be willing to play it.
yeah,
What's
I've got it
the
installed, so.
what's the orange stripy thingy
Orange stripy thing?
on the front of the box? Is it like the day one edition
Oh yeah,
or
day one edition.
nah?
So yeah, you basically you're trying to get a crystal thing, which is called the dolmen, from these big aliens, right? And so you just go around shooting shit and stabbing shit and yeah, kill aliens. So yeah, I got
Nice.
it for £5, so it's just like yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Carmen, how was your week?
Oh my garlies. My week was stressful. I survived my first real hurricane, which means I sat through my first real hurricane. It wasn't so I'm in the Florida, I'm in like the Southwest Florida region of space of the country. I'm in the kind of close to the bottom of the banana. And so we had a hurricane that came in on Wednesday. And so I had known since at least Sunday. So there was a lot of prep and the evacuating and this, that, and the other. And ultimately, very luckily, my area was fine. By the time it hit landfall, it went from a category 4 to a category 2. So the winds and everything were at about half the strength that we expected them to be. So we just got some high winds, broken trees, lost some power. A lot of people lost power, but that was not fun. But it was definitely an experience that consumed my week. Pretty much had to throw out a lot of food. Living that life, but it was so much worse for so many other people. I was just lucky to be in a little tiny area of okayness. I didn't play very much. I just played a little bit more of Last of Us. I'm still working on that. I watched more Buffy and more Angel, so I'm really into that. And I read some actual books again because I had about 2 days worth of no electricity, so I had to use my electronics wisely and learn how to get off of the electronics for a little bit. But they're not new books that I read. I just went back to this that I got last year. So it's a redo of Show and Tell. It's just what I got last year, which is the Legends and Lattes, and that is my. I've spoken about this before. It's a cozy fantasy genre book, but I'm halfway through it again. This was all in just like one day of reading, so that was fun. And I am working on. I'm working on fixing my camera, I think. I just noticed some weirdness. Let's see. Hi. This is my right hand. Okay. But I don't know. I'm back home living large. Oh, I was getting into some video editing, and I'm very excited. So I might have something to show next time, or if not show, at least throw it up on the YouTubes. But
If not show, then tell.
Yeah.
yeah,
We should alternate? Like 1 week we'll show and then 1 week we'll tell.
Because of copyrights and
Mm.
things of that nature, with the sounds that might have rights,
Nope.
and so forth. But let's say, how is okay, Alex freaking out. He's
How am I
frozen.
freaking out?
You were frozen for like half a second. If not show, then throw up. Throw up or throw up? But let's say, Lee, how was your week?
So it's been a while since I was on here. Unfortunately, not much has happened. Since I got back from a family holiday in Exmouth, I was thrown into prison. And I've been trying to maintain my sanity ever since.
You didn't pay the bill.
Well, apparently my crime has been sending boxes, but it could have been among other things. Who's to say? I'm not the most innocent person in the world. But hey ho. And when I have had time, free time outside the cells, I've been up in games earhole trying to work out where all my pre-orders have been and what's going on. Because I am still having issues with that. Oh, something's gone quiet.
Somebody give you a shiv and a cake?
It might well be. I have received something. I have been told to open it for my show and tell. Should I do that right now?
Do it. Do it.
All right. Apparently, it was meant to be given to my cellmate, but he never showed up. Apparently, he's a Resident Evil village hater, but I don't know much else about that. Anyway, this is the box they sent me.
Ah.
I'm muffling a bit. I can't help that. Technology,
It sounds the same every time you pee on a Wardcast, to be fair. So
Yeah, so I don't see the problem. Anyway, back to this box. Let's open it up, shall we? Oh, these damn catches.
open the box.
Ooh, it lights up.
That's awesome.
So let's see what's in this. We have an Xbox One game called Ziggurat. I don't know what that is.
No, you gotta hold it up.
Uh-oh.
Da-na-na-na.
Do I have sound effects here? The prison
Will be
service
your
only gives
sound
us so
effects.
much. Okay, you're my sound effects. So I got that. I got some T-Rex sellotape. I don't know why. I guess it was for the other cellmate, but never showed up. I got a pack of salsa crackers. I guess they think I'm going to be here till Christmas, so they thought, all right, let's give them some.
What kind of crackers?
Christmas
Salsa
crackers.
ones.
Christmas where you pull them and they explode?
Yeah, they're very small ones.
Like a cock.
Yeah. No,
Oh no.
I'm not going to see that kind of action in the cells. Trust me.
You never know.
If that's
Maybe in
I'm just
in the showers.
Don't drop the soap.
Don't drop the soap.
Oh, I'm definitely thinking this was for you, Sean, because they included some Marmite.
Ew. Why do they have Marmite flavored things? It's not good on its own. Why would you flavor things with it?
For you.
It
so we can
is a
send it to
flavoring. You don't.
I guess.
I got some tissues here. Huh. They must have personalized it. And, there's one last thing. Oh. So this is where it was. This is the Silent Hill 2 remake steelbook. It was here all along.
Oh wow.
No wonder it didn't arrive at my address. It was here all along. They just didn't tell me.
They sent it to a treasure box.
Yes.
Really though, of all the things to put on the steelbook, really that? Like come on, why?
Yeah. I wasn't impressed by it, but it's a freebie, so you know what we're going to do. But
Give it away, obviously.
well, yeah, obviously that's the idea. If I can send things out in this prison, you never know. I've been having
Guys,
some
I am the
issues.
soap.
I don't want to trip. I don't want to use that soap. It's nasty. And that concludes it. But I guess I can use this to hit the guard overhead and try and escape. Who knows? I might try it.
That thing is really cool. Where did you get that?
It's actually so it's the Legend of Zelda manga collection. So it covers like 5 books that they did, like the Ocarina of Time, the Link to the Past, so on and so forth. And it came in this cardboard chest. I just took the books out and made use of it. Because I was
So
thinking of, you know,
Did it come lighted like that, or did you do that?
I put that light is my phone. I just put the light on it.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of what happens when Link opens the chest in the
Yeah.
Zelda game. So that's what I
He's
was
being
going for.
creative.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, look at that, Carmen.
I would
See
say-
how that works.
Definitely put a light in there, like a little fairy light or a little
Well,
LED little puck light, something. Just
Well, I haven't been to IKEA, so I couldn't get one.
How has Nintendo not capitalized on that? How have they not made a box like that? When you open it, it's got like a yellow light in there, and it makes the noise, you know, the opening chest noise. It plays that little jingle. That
Why
that would
hasn't
be so
Capcom done that?
cool.
I
make
think
it happen.
I think they might save that for the next thing they do after the Alamo is released.
When what's released?
The Alamo. The
Oh God, we'll talk about that. Ugh.
well,
Ugh.
we're safe to then. So, Sean,
I want to say
how's
stuff
been-
about that, but okay.
It really irritates me though, because like things like that would make like the perfect item for like a collector's edition. Like instead of the generic statue or fucking art book or whatever, you know, make a limited edition that has something like really cool and unique and interesting. Like they could do a collector's edition Legend of Zelda that has like maybe a smaller version of that box that plays the music and lights up. That would be such a cool collector's edition. But no, we can't have nice things. No. It's
You
annoying.
tell. It would only be funny if it starts to get old and the batteries die out. It's like
That'd be even better.
Well, before we get any further into the news, let's go to Sean about his week.
Hello. My week. This will be a lot quicker than last time. That was really long, but I didn't really do a whole lot since last week. I watched some Friends, and I watched Unsolved Mysteries for some reason.
The original
And-
or the new one?
I think it's like 2020, 2021, so it's
Oh,
newer.
that's- I'm thinking of like the 1980s, but okay.
No. It's interesting. I mean, it's the same thing that it's always been. So like, what's the difference? But I started episode 1 of the Tomb Raider anime that just came out. I mean, from what I've seen, I haven't seen a lot. It's okay. Like I'm like maybe 3/4 of the way into episode 1, so I've barely seen anything, but enough to judge it a little bit. Like I don't like how Lara's portrayed in it. Like she's so whiny. She's cried like 4 times in like 3/4 of an episode. That is not Lara Croft. She doesn't
Is
fucking
she-
cry and whine, especially
she-
that much. Like, come on.
Is she baby Laura? Is this before she becomes
No.
badass?
I mean, no, because they open it up and she's like already adventuring with I don't know a whole lot of the remake or reboot lore, but she's with that Roth, I think is his name, her like mentor or uncle or something. So like she's at least in the process of like learning to Tomb Raid or whatever. She's probably like 19 or something like that, 19 or 20. So like she's old enough that she should be, if she's not like her character, she should be well on her way to becoming that. So like to open up the show with this like whiny crying person, that's just like no. That's not Lara Croft to me. Um, yeah, yeah. So
How
that's
big are
kind of
the boobs?
disappointing. That's the other thing is she's kind
Mhm.
of. I don't want to say she's like
Uh,
manly shaped, but she's very like boxy.
I
Like
mean,
and
to be
it's like
fair,
not what.
you think boxy, so like you think original Tomb Raider, very box shape.
Wow. No, it's triangle shaped. It's different. But
Those
no, it's
parts
just like
enough.
she's like chunky, like her waist and her like shoulders are like too wide and she just I don't know, she looks weird.
are you
She
That's why she's
fat
grey.
shaming our girl?
kinda
Are you?
because she's always been like very she's been a sex symbol for fucking decades. She's
And she
very
could still be
shapely,
sexy chunky. I'm gonna
hourglass
look her up.
figure. So the fact that she's so like manly shaped and like just uh like there's sometimes you could pause it and you'd be like, is that a dude? Like that should not be Lara Croft. That should never happen for her.
I am so
But
offended
anyways,
right now.
Bye,
I'm
Jazz.
gonna watch the whole thing and see, but I've heard there's a lot of like DEI shit in it, and I haven't really, other than her design, like I haven't really seen any of that. Um,
Say DEI
it,
like it's a problem.
it like I'm not hating on it like so far as much as I thought I would be, but it's still very early. So I'm very curious to see if Jazz watches it and what her take is on it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I hope it's for her. I hope she likes it. I hope she enjoys it because she's into Tomb Raider a lot more than I am. But I still like the franchise. I like the character, so I would like to see it, you know, get the justification that it deserves. But yeah, it is what it is. I
All right,
only
I'm
played
looking at her
one
spec
game.
sheet right now.
Her spec sheet, her measurements.
Mhm. How pointy are yours?
Oh no, I mean
how,
like you
how
know
big are her boobs
the
and her waist?
oh no, not like that. No, the I forgot what they call it.
Hi,
The
Jazz. Have
model
a happy
sheet. There we
Thanksgiving.
go.
Her model sheet.
Yeah, like where it shows like her from like several angles, and it's like a character sheet that you do for each character
Several
model
angles, huh?
for a
Oh,
show, an
like the character
animation.
design, like the sketches.
Not the sketches, like the finalized, but yes.
Hmm.
You might want to
Well,
be careful,
again,
Colin.
depending on what you're looking at, they could have and probably picked the most appealing frames or whatever, like because sometimes she looks fine, other times not so much.
Hmm.
And again, like there shouldn't really be that much variation in the art design where it's like like her body shape is changing so much from angle and shot, like from angle to angle and shot to shot. So I
Oh
feel
my
like
god, she's lost an arm in that picture.
that's also kind of a problem with the animation as well. Like it's not bad, it's just it's not super impressive either. It's very simplistic.
She looks a lot more realistic from what I'm seeing.
She's not supposed to look realistic. And again, what realistic to what?
To a
Like, I mean, there
human?
are very shapely women in real life, by the way. That does exist. Anyway, anyway. The only game I played this week is Silent Hill 2 Remake, and it's really, really good. Shockingly.
I've
I, I
seen a little bit of that.
I've been addicted to it. I've been playing it pretty much since I got it. Like
Have you
anytime
beat
I've had
it?
time. I beat it twice.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm actually on my third playthrough. It's going to be my last playthrough to get the platinum. And yeah,
Platinum?
I'm really shockingly impressed with it. It looks incredible. Um, some of the characters' designs are really good. Like James and Eddie look really, really good, like almost like photorealistic, amazing. The fog looks really cool. They did a really good job with layering the fog so it looks nice in 3D and it's full enough. Like everything about it looks really, really good. And I feel like that's just kind of a shocking thing. part of the problem with the HD version was like the fog was like really shitty. So it's like there was a lot of pressure on them getting the fog right. So it's like just kind of open to be criticized. So I was not expecting them to follow through with something that's actually acceptable, but it actually looks fantastic. Um, it's weird because like the default darkness, if you play with like the default settings, it's really really dark, and it it works, you know, because it gives you like a really good atmosphere, and it's really hard to see anything. That's kind of the point, you know, like even with the flashlight, it's really really hard to see what the fuck's going on around you. But I kind of like that because of the nature of the game. Like it just works with you know how things should be and just the horror theme and everything. And one of my playthroughs, I did raise the brightness, and it totally kind of breaks the game and ruins the atmosphere. So like I really appreciate the darkness, but it does make it very very difficult to play it. But I think it's in a good way. I know Lee, you were kind of struggling with that a little bit too.
It came to a surprise because I was thinking, okay, I have to deal with these enemies before they deal with me, but they're hiding in the darkness and I can only see so much. And then by the time I'm squaring up to attack them, they've hit me and they're ganging up on me. So, you know.
I'm not saying it's great, but
to.
you can adjust the settings, right? Like to an extent, or does it just wash it all out because you're
Well, like I
messing with
said,
contrast?
it doesn't wash it out. It just like it just kind of ruins the experience. Like
Yeah.
when you can see everything, it's not scary anymore. And it also kind of dulls the graphics. So like it doesn't look nearly as good when everything's bright and clear. Like just the way the darkness kind of enshrouds the character models and the environments and everything gives it a whole different layer of um I don't know, just like it makes the graphics really pop
Hmm.
basically. And it kills all that. It makes it look kind of bland when you raise the graphics or the brightness up so you can see what's going on. But to me, like the darkness didn't really affect like fighting enemies, combat or anything. It's more of just like navigating through the environment that was difficult for me. But again, I feel like it's a necessary evil, and I appreciate it being there. It's very well done.
Do you think you can make a machinima out of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something. It's probably gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a series because there's not many cutscenes. I could probably do it in like maybe a video or two. But yeah, I do want to do something with it.
Is one of the lines going to be the man?
Maybe we'll do like a Easter egg or something. But yeah, and then like the combat was also another thing that we were kind of concerned about. You know, are they going to do this right? And I thought it was very well done. It feels very classic survival horror, but it's also pretty dynamic in terms of like they kind of retooled the enemies and the enemy AI where they kind of accommodate your mobility with the dodge and stuff like that. And like like each enemy has multiple things they can do. Like they can grab onto you, they fake you out, they have kind of erratic attack patterns. So like even though you're essentially more effective in combat and you have more tools at your disposal, like the balance is there to make that work. And I thought that was really cool. And there's even like kind of dynamic elements in terms of like how far away you are to the enemy. So like if I'm like 10 feet away from an enemy and I attack, there's kind of like a distance attack that's more powerful. You'll kind of make a lunging attack, which is really cool, and you can just kind of work that into the gameplay. It's actually a lot deeper than I think people give it credit for, and I thought it was really well done. And they included all the endings from the previous game, and they added 2 additional ones, which is really cool. So there's 8 endings. So I'm surprised they didn't cut anything there. I thought that was really cool.
Is that the one with the dog ending?
There is a dog ending, yep. And they have the alien ending. Yeah, so that's really cool.
Wait,
I'm shocked that I thought they were gonna try to like streamline the narrative so it's like there's not multiple endings anymore. It's like this is the definitive way to play it, but they didn't do that, so it's really cool.
well, but you're only playing it thrice through. You're not going to try and get to every single ending. Not that I'm
I'm save scumming. You can get multiple endings. You can get 3 on the first playthrough, and you can get all the others on the second. But I fucked it up, so I had to play through it 3 times.
Mm.
But yeah, um, there's some downsides. I'm not going to go super deep into the overall game. I don't want to talk spoilers or anything like that. I know the game just came out and people haven't gone through it yet, but just a couple things. Censorship, of course.
I was wondering about
Mm-hmm. It's 2024. We can't have a game without censorship. But
Wasn't there like nudie nurses? Or...
I mean, the nurses still have the cleavage. It's not as prominent, but it's there.
that. They had more buttons turned up, did they?
Yeah, they buttoned it up like 2 more additional buttons. But yeah, the gore was toned down a lot. Like there is blood and there is gore and stuff like that, but there's some like cutaways from violence and the gore. Like it's weird. The gore on the enemies like is kind of like white and green. When you attack them, they do bleed red, but it's not. I don't know. It feels like they compromise. It's like we don't want it to be too gory, so we'll have some slimy stuff, and we'll have some dirt, and we'll have some green stuff. In
Have some mayonnaise.
They should have
some
just
yeah, we'll have mayonnaise, we'll have blood, we'll have ketchup.
They should have just did it as a setting switch.
Yeah,
I
would've-
like that. I know you
would've
hate it, but I
preferred
like that.
Why do we have to be so sensitive?
It doesn't matter. The thing is
It's a
that
horror
with,
game.
if
Give me
you put
gore
it as a
violence.
setting, we will argue about this so many times. If you put it as a setting, then everybody can have their cake. You can have your cake. You know, I could have my cake, and it's not the same.
But like at the end of the
Okay.
day, if you're
No.
playing a horror game, like that's the whole point. So like if scary things and violent things bother you, like the game's not for you. Like
Maybe
you're
I
not going to
it.
you're just not going to have a good time because you
Maybe
don't
I
like
need,
that stuff.
maybe I
So,
need to
so
build up to it.
why should they tone it down to accommodate for the people that aren't the target audience?
Because then they could tone it up for you, and then have decapitations and like blood squirting. Oh, you know.
Well, where's my blood and violence and gore in the Barbie games?
Yeah.
I want to see a decapitated Barbie.
Yeah. So do I.
Balance it out.
It's a different genre.
What? What?
I will.
Wow. You just proved my argument right
I
there.
did not. No.
Hello, holy water. Welcome. But yeah, so the minimal gore is irritating to me, but it's still there. So it's like they didn't remove it entirely. So whatever.
Anyway, it's an atmospheric horror. Anyway,
anyone who's played Silent Hill 2 knows like there's a lot of kind of disturbing thematic things that happen in the original, and they removed some of it and they censored some of it. Like some of it's still there, but it's like obscured or a little bit more vague than it was, and some stuff was removed entirely, which is very annoying. And then of course the designs of the women, they had to modernize them. They gave them bigger, wider jaws to kind of masculinize them a little bit, which is annoying. Maria, they ruined her because they completely redesigned her, changed her outfit, and they did the fucking DMC thing where they made fun of it. Like Maria goes to a closet and her old outfit's in the closet, and she kind of picks it up and she's like, remember this? Get fucked. So I just don't appreciate that. Like, why? And I was hoping like maybe like I could tolerate it if it was like Resident Evil 4 remake with Ashley where you can unlock her original outfit, but no, you can't. So yeah, and again, like it goes back to like the themes of Silent Hill 2. Like that's part of the story and everything, that Maria is supposed to be like sexy and promiscuous and stuff like that. So to remove that, it's stupid. It makes no sense and it hurts the story. So that was annoying. It's just standard remake bullshit. But yeah, I mean that's kind of it. They toned down some of the unlockable stuff, some of the weapons and stuff like that you can't unlock anymore, and it's fine. It could be a lot worse. Overall, it's a really good remake in terms of like all the remakes that we have going on right now. It's definitely one of the best. And for me, I feel like it's probably the best Silent Hill game since 3. I like it better than 4. I don't like 4. Um, so yeah, it's good. And that's the only thing I've been playing. Show and tell, I figured I would keep to the theme of Silent Hill, and these are my Silent Hill 2s. I have I learned something that is disturbing and I'm kind of upset about. I'm missing a really important version of Silent Hill 2,
Uh,
and I didn't realize that. I thought I fucking had it and I don't. And it's getting
Hmm.
expensive, so I'm kind of pissed off. But I got
Is it a
the
Japanese version?
no, it's the US one, but this is the original Xbox Silent Hill 2. I think this only came in a Platinum Hits version. It's
I
the
No, they came out in the bog standard form, but
Did they? God damn it. Well, even with the DLC on the disc?
so it I believe it's based on the Xbox version, so it would have interferes in it. It's just it didn't have this. The original form didn't have the silver light border on it.
Fuck. I'm missing 2. Uh, Lee sent me this. This is the Japanese one. This cover is so much better. And Maria looks
look,
way
she take
better
a
in this
nap.
version. She's taking a little old nap. And then this is terrible box art, but this is the PAL version on PS2. What is with that shitty border, Lee? Good
Uh,
lord.
I I didn't design it, but
But on behalf of your people, what the fuck?
I, personally I don't mind the platinum border. At least that design. They ruined it later on, but you know it is what it is. It's bargain software at that point. What do you expect?
Yeah. And Lee also sent this. This is the special edition Silent Hill 2 PAL on PS2.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
Oh,
isn't
you
it?
sent me this one?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to it? It's so fucked up.
It's
It looks like a dog was like chewing on it or something.
because it's made
Uh,
because it's paper case. It's
yeah,
very easy to damage.
Yeah, what
yeah.
it looks like is like GameStop got it and they put like one of those stickers over it
They
and
did
somebody
have
peeled it
stickers
off
on
and it
it.
just ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's a really cool special edition. We didn't get any like special edition in America because we're lame.
Mhm.
And then got the collection
I sent you
on
that.
PS2. Yep, Lee sent me this one. This
Yep.
is really, really cool. It's got Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4, I believe.
Yeah.
It's the Silent Hill collection minus the HD. And then there's this abomination. That's all we need to talk about. And then I got it on the PS3 as well. Bleh. And then the new one. So yeah, a bunch of Silent Hills 2, a bunch of Silent Hill 2s. But yeah, turns out I'm missing the fucking original PS2 version. What the fuck? How do I not have that on PS2? That's like the only one I don't have on PS2. I could have swore I had that.
And how much is it on eBay?
Like $200. Like what the fuck? Yeah. So that was disappointing to see.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. You live and you learn, and you don't have Silent Hill 2. But yeah. It is time for some news.
News.
Beep, 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 beep,
Oh.
beep.
I don't know why everything's streaming so shittily. It's all chuggy and stuttery and weird. So
I had
sorry.
to, like, when it comes to videos and trailers, I had to rewatch the episode to see it a bit better. But yeah,
It
Oh,
could also be,
are they shitty quality for you
Yeah.
in the stream?
it could also be the prison Wi-Fi. That could also have a factor.
yeah.
Well, it's weird. Normally on my end though, because like I'm the source, so it should be nice and clear and not stuttering and shit. But today it's been really bad. I don't know why. So
Maybe,
I don't know if that's going to translate to the pod to like the stream or if it's just on my end. But yeah.
maybe it's because you were bad mouthing some parts of Silent Hill 2 remake that they're punishing you.
Hey man, you gotta give the praise and the criticism. It's a two-way street.
I have
Acknowledge
not.
acknowledge the wins and the loses. What?
I have not
Losses.
noticed.
Losses, thank you.
Losses.
The loses. I words good. All
What you
right,
got,
news.
Sean?
So like I said, no images this week. We're just going to talk about the things. But Activision confirms Black Ops 6 is online only. Yay, another online only game. Woo.
What a shock.
Yeah, shocking.
Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
What's funny is there's no Black Ops 5. So what the fuck?
What?
I think Cold War is technically 5. That it happens all the time. It's annoying. But
Third like
anyways,
Village?
So in
You shouldn't have said
Call
that,
of Duty
Carmen.
have done too many games, and they're just
Uh,
like, I think we're on 6, right? Yeah, we're put 6 on.
it's so annoying when they do that. Like just make them all numbers and leave it alone because they always go back. Like if they try to turn them into like, oh, they're gonna have like
Oh,
subtitles or whatever, they always go back to numbers. So just
you can't.
Just
They can't
do the
do numbers,
numbers.
Sean. Otherwise, they'll be on Call of Duty 99 by next year.
that's fine. Like call it what it is. Like it's fine. Tell the people. Let the people know. But anyways, with the game's October 25th release around the corner, Activision has confirmed the game will need a persistent online connection to play all game modes, including the single-player campaign. Why?
It's
I
done.
don't understand. This is said to be a result of Black Ops 6's new texture streaming technology that helps reduce the game's overall file size. That's fucking bullshit. It's a lie.
I don't buy it.
The last couple Black Ops games have all been online. They've required some form of online connectivity to function. So like this is just a PR excuse. Black Ops 4 was online only. Black Ops Cold War has a mandatory installation before you can play it offline. So it's like you can start it up, download the update, and then you can play it offline. But technically, like again, when we get to the point where you can no longer connect to that server, like say you buy it, like we're at PS10, right? And you're playing your old PS5 or whatever, and you pop that disc in, and there's no online connectivity anymore. You can't install that update file, so you can't play it.
So,
It's just a
in,
coaster.
Yeah, it's a coaster.
yes. So, in a couple of years' time, it'd be known as Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Paperweight Edition. Because, you know, as you said, when the server's gone, you've had it. It's just
Mhm.
So that's why they called it Black Ops 6, because in a few years' time, no one will be able to play it, then no one will remember 5 or 6 ever came out.
Yeah, they're just going to
Is that-
restart the numbers over.
Is that essentially turning all modern video games into vaporware? Is that what I'm kind of understanding?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. Yeah. See, I just wish, like, again, it's part of it's about transparency. I just wish, like, if you have to connect to the internet for any reason whatsoever to play a game, don't print a disc. Just make it digital. Like, it's crystal clear. You're good to go. The problem solved. Like, why? Because all that's going to do is create the perception that it's, your physical version you can play whenever you want to, and it's just not true. So it's fuckery and it's trickery, and I don't like it. But yeah, it's the future. What, Alec?
I
What
know, I
was
was just
that?
thinking back to Twisted Metal Black Online when me and Lee picked it up, and it's like, it's a PS2 game, but you have to be online to play that. And I'm just thinking, it's been done like ages ago, so it's like, why they continue to go in that direction, I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, and again, like a big part of why it bothers me so much is transparency, and like I'm so ingrained and hyper aware of this shit. But when you told me about that fucking Twisted Metal Black, I didn't even fucking know that. Like it's like they're trying to keep it a secret. It's fucked up. Anyways, I wasn't gonna play Black Ops 6 anyway. It's garbage, and nobody should. But yeah, Tomb Raider 4, 5, and 6 remastered collection has been announced. Yay!
Mhm.
Yay!
That was a 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, unfortunately. With 6 in particular, that's the Angel of Darkness.
I mean, I
Mhm.
knew the original 3, and there was a few other PS2 games, but I just didn't know there was fucking 6.
I mean, it's weird. See, again, this is where it gets confusing because the remaster calls them officially 4, 5, and 6 on the box, but technically, when these games came out, they were not called 4, 5, and 6. They had fucking names. They had sub names. Fucking bullshit. But anyways, we'll get into that. The original Tomb Raider remastered collection released just last February, so it hasn't been that long, but it was a massive success, selling 140K units in 8 months and grossing $3.3 million. So, yeah, did real well, especially because it's just a remaster. Like that couldn't have taken that much money to put together. So I'm sure they made a huge profit on that. On the heels of that success, Crystal Dynamics has announced a follow-up remastering the next 3 games, Last Revelation, Chronicles, and Angel of Darkness. So that's what they were originally called, but now they're 4, 5, and 6. But yeah, it's an interesting choice, being that none of these games have like the fanfare of the original 3, and it's likely going to result in lower sales and worse fan reception. So it kind of seems like a lose-lose to do this, but I mean, it's kind of nice to see that they're putting the like entire original Tomb Raider franchise like on one platform, remastered with clean graphics. Like that's kind of cool to have, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is probably going to be more damaging to the franchise than anything, because like if you just did the first 3, it would have been like, oh, look at this win, this is great, people like Tomb Raider. But now we're going to remember that they did 4, 5, and 6 and nobody liked it and nobody bought it. So it's just going to kind of leave a bad taste in people's mouth, I think. So I don't know. I don't really think it was necessary to do. Do any of you guys find this appealing?
Nope.
I'd be okay trying Chronicles and the Last Revelation, but there's no amount of work they can do to make the Angel of Darkness any better. It's still
Yeah.
a turn of a game, and that's going to sour it for many people, I reckon.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the first 3. Haven't gotten through the. I mean, in theory, yes, but in actuality, maybe not.
Have you even played the first 3?
I can't get through the first one, okay?
No, okay.
I mean, if you
It's
can't,
fucking
if you
tough.
can't get through the first one, you're not
I
going to
like
get
it
through
in
4, 5, and 6.
You know what? Maybe I should just watch other plays, because in theory, I love it. But have I ever completed even one? No, I haven't. And I tried.
Those
And
are
I
the
get
good
stuck.
ones.
I know the
So-
solution. I know the solution, Carmen. Get yourself a black and white strategy guide of Tomb Raider 1. That will solve all your issues.
Oh god, those
Black
pictures.
and white?
Yeah, black and white.
Why? How?
Did we send that
What?
to Sean?
What is it?
I don't
So-
understand.
So back in the day, a
Uh-huh.
strategy guide, certain ones,
Yeah.
they just printed it off on black and white or grayscale. They didn't include color. So that's what I'm
That-
suggesting. You need to get one of those so you can complete the game. That will
Wouldn't
help
it
you.
be like a nightmare?
No, it was. Just looking at the pictures, it's like, how would that help you?
Yeah, I think I have a Resident Evil 1 strategy guide that's in black and white. So
Okay, no. But
I mean, if
Yeah.
that were the case, I might as well just look it up on GameFAQs. Because I think
well, I
Black
mean, you don't need a strategy guide today. Like, just look it up online. Watch a video. Like, you don't need to read anything.
sure.
I would
So-
say a black and white version of the original Resident Evil strategy guide would be easier to look at against the Tomb Raider one, because all the backgrounds look the same, at least in Resident Evil.
Yeah,
A little different.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, and at least like with the pre-rendered backgrounds, you can kind of
Mm.
see what's going on better. But when everything's
Instead
just
of
a fucking
jungle.
pixelated
Other
disaster,
jungle.
it's hard to tell what the fuck anything is, even with the color.
Column.
So,
Other
yeah.
column.
But yeah,
Tomb.
it's a
Other
thing.
tomb.
It's happening. Now the question becomes, do we see a remaster collection of Tomb Raider Legend, Anniversary, and Underworld?
Of course, at some point.
Probably
Possibly, if
eventually.
it continues to do well. I'd
That
like
would-
to see.
Uh,
I'd like to see him do another redo of re-release of the Crystal Dynamics games, the trilogy on that. I know it exists somewhere, but they didn't release
Yeah,
it.
it's been a few years, so let's
Yeah,
redo
they
that.
need. Yeah, let's add some more graphics on it and re-release it. Everyone else is doing it, aren't they?
Yeah.
You mean for the reboot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
just have some AI generated light
Yeah.
in there.
Just put some 4K textures on it, sell it for full price, and bam, we'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean a long time ago they remastered the first one, so
Yeah, they did.
it's just a matter of time before they do the next two. But yeah, I feel like if they end up doing those three games, it's going to be really weird because like that collection would be a remaster of both a remake and a reboot. Because Tomb Raider Anniversary is a reboot or a remake, and Tomb Raider Legend is a reboot. So, or remake. Yeah.
No, it's all confusing, is it?
Yeah, see, I'm confusing myself just trying to fucking figure it out. Yeah, the remake
Reboot,
was
Master.
Legend. The reboot, I don't fucking know. Anyways,
Reboot, Master.
within that collection, there's a remake and a reboot, and they'd be remastering them both, and it's confusing as fuck. And we need to stop.
There's a lot of ours. Let's put it that way.
Wait till they start going for revamps.
Yeah, well, going through the news and shit, I'm seeing like the most random shit getting remasters, or like they're doing Dragon Quest, like the original games. We've done all like the original 8-bit Final Fantasies. We're doing like Fairy Fencer. Like who bought Fairy Fencer? Like who is buying a remake or a remaster of that? Nobody.
I've never even heard
Stop.
of
Why are exactly? That's what I'm saying. Like most people probably haven't even heard of that game. Why is there a remaster? It's ridiculous.
I was going to raise my hand, but I thought different second about that.
It's nonsense. Anyways, so now we're going to talk about that stupid Nintendo clock. Nintendo is making an alarm clock.
Woohoo!
Exciting.
No.
Everybody's like waiting around for news of the Nintendo Switch 2, and they announce an alarm clock. Like, fuck off. So the Alarmo, which is the worst name ever,
Alarmo.
is a more simplified smart alarm clock.
Alarm.
It's like it's made for babies, but I don't think that's the target audience, so I'm kind of confused as to who this is for.
The target audience is single individuals. It won't work if there's.
What the fuck is the Alarmo?
It supposedly won't work if there's more than one person.
Right.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so the Alarmo smart alarm clock, it can be customized to play Nintendo themed music and sound effects. It also has a motion sensor that plays sounds as you move, encouraging you to wake up. And once you sit up, the alarm automatically shuts off and plays a celebration chime because we have to celebrate waking up now.
Hey,
we've peaked.
If that was Final Fantasy themed,
that would actually be amazing. If you got up and it's na 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 na, I would buy that. That would be amazing.
See, it's just the Mario sounds are just not hitting it for you, but the concept.
No, I mean I would buy it because it's so fucking stupid. But
I mean,
you would use it on.
What happens if there's a doctor and it's like calls time of death and it's like wasted?
And I guess it also monitors your sleeping patterns. Again, it's monitoring your sleeping patterns. Like that's the thing that adults do, but this seems like it's made for children. Who is the
Child
audience
at
for
heart.
this?
Child at
I
heart.
don't understand. Man, childs, children, words.
Woman, childs too.
The,
That's fair.
the,
That's fair. That's
the
fair.
fact that it's estimated to cost about $100 is also just a
Mhm.
slap in the face.
I mean,
£89 for
It's
us.
not.
Yeah.
I thought about that too, but also like, if we're talking about like selling things like this to children, like the DS was like $150, right? The
Right.
Wii, $250.
Right.
So like they make expensive shit for kids. Fucking Legos. Legos are insanely expensive. But it just, I don't know. I'm very confused as to like who is this supposed to be appealing to?
Nintendo fans.
Of
Yes.
what
Yeah. So
age?
Sorry, can you not set up an alarm on the Switch or even
5 to
fucking
75.
GameCube?
or on your phone. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get. I'm pretty sure they exist like smart alarms that aren't Nintendo branded and they don't cost nowhere near as much. And you probably can
True.
mod that to have the Final Fantasy theme tune play when you get up. So you don't
True.
need this alarm nonsense.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, couldn't this just be an app on your phone?
Yeah.
Call it a day? Like,
I mean, isn't
But
that
then
what
they wouldn't
Pokemon
get the money dollars.
isn't that what Pokemon Sleep is about? Because that monitors your sleep, and that's some on your phone.
yep, that's where it started.
Yeah.
It stemmed from Pokemon Sleep. But yeah, so out of the box, it has 5 themes, including The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. New themes will be downloadable for free later on, but you will need a Nintendo account to do so. The Alarmo, like you said, will retail for $99.99 and is only available for paying Nintendo Online members initially, with a worldwide release sometime in 2025. So to
Wow.
get this thing when it launches, you have to pay for their fucking online service to have the right to buy this $100 alarm clock.
That's the, you know
What the
honestly,
fuck? What happened to the days of Nintendo being the last remaining champion of gaming? Like they've definitely crossed the line.
think about it though.
I
That
don't want
might
to.
be their end goal.
What?
Getting more subscribers. That
Probably.
might be their
Well,
end
I
goal.
mean, I feel like that's a bit much. I don't think anyone in the right mind is going to get a subscription to buy this fucking alarm clock. I think that's a stretch.
Okay, it might be a stretch, but they've,
Unless
they've
it's cute.
stretched harder for dumber. You know what I mean? It may be a stretch, but I bet that is a key component to their marketing strategy. A key component to their end goal is to get those subscriptions, is to get you signed up for the service, if only for marketing, if only to have your name on the list, but more like to have you on the hook, uh, giving you giving them your money, you know on a monthly or annual basis, just forever.
But Nintendo already do that with the Switch Online service, so
This
the
is
alarm
more.
is not
This
going
is
to.
more. It's just one more additional thing. It's just one more additional way. It's a little bit like Apple. I have a pair of AirPods, my mystery AirPods, and I cannot register them sums of biscuits, because I don't own any other Apple device currently. Like, I think, and because I let my sister borrow them, I think they're now technically registered under her account, and I can't get it registered to my very own name until I purchase an Apple device, probably an Apple phone or an iPad, to pair them with, that is under my name. It's very similar. I hope
I,
that
I
made sense.
I think the worst part about this is the fact that like you're I feel like you're kind of right in terms of like, yeah, this is kind of like a trap,
Yes.
where, but I think what makes it fucked up is like, I feel like this is more for the younger audience, where it's like
Traps are
they're
often
gonna lure in the parents to pay for the online to get the clock for their kids, kind of a situation. And it's like the parents might not even understand like what the fuck they're getting themselves into. It's like, oh, I got to pay what, how much is that Nintendo online subscription? 11, 12 bucks, something like that, right?
Yeah, about
A
that.
month, something like that. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, depending on how the kids present this to the parents, it's like, oh, well, you need to get this thing for me to be able to get the clock, and it's only 12 bucks or whatever. And they're like, oh, all right, fine, here's my credit card or whatever. They set it up real quick, not fully understanding that, oh, well, you're going to get billed every month for this until you figure out that you're being billed for this kind of a situation. I feel like that opens the door for some really scummy shit down the road. And what's disappointing to me is like I said before, Nintendo's been like kind of the last bastion of hope within the game industry of not doing shitty things and taking advantage of consumers, especially children. And this confirms that that's no longer the case. Like they clearly don't give a shit. Once upon a time they're like, oh, we're not going to make mobile games. They did that, and now they never charged you for online. They're doing that, and now they're doing shit like this. And it's just like, well, clearly they're just as fucked up and shitty as any other corporation at this point, and that's just really sad to see.
I'll give you one better. The type of person who has the disposable income to drop $100 on an alarm clock is probably the same type of person that wouldn't mind or wouldn't notice a $12 a month charge for ever and ever.
That does not make it okay.
No.
That is
know
so
it doesn't.
fucked up.
I'm just saying that
It's like
that
they're not going to notice that we're charging them 12 bucks a month. Yeah, morals. Way to go.
I'm saying that it's giving Apple. It really is. You know what I mean?
It's just
Hey,
It's
Nintendo
life.
alarm clock. What time is it? It's time for you to resubscribe. Oh, okay. It's time.
it's really annoying to me that like the interface for this thing, or like the presentation of like when the alarm starts going off, like it's just like this little bubble. It's a circle with a static image of a character. Like
Mhm.
really, that's the best you could do for $100. Like really, you
Mhm.
couldn't fucking put an animation in there. Like it could have been at least cool. It's like you have this animated Mario that like peeks up, onto the screen and does a little dance, and
An AI
you could have at least
Mario.
had some fun with it and made it cool. But this is like the bare minimum bullshit, and it's expensive as fuck, and it's a big missed opportunity. It wouldn't make this thing any better in terms of like how they're kind of taking advantage of the consumer and whatnot. But at least they could have made it a cool little collectible for that audience.
What if it was an AI Mario?
Please
Why?
no,
They-
stop it. That's probably going to be the next model, and it's going to cost like $6,000.
like a Furby, but an alarm clock and Mario.
Mhm.
Or what's it called, a Vimo, or
Vimo?
and the little buddy looking guy with the LED face that looks a little bit like Eva from Wally.
Mm,
Have you seen that one?
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know either, but
Yeah.
like an AI toy that is an alarm clock.
Sell it to the children for $4,000. They can afford it. They won't even notice it. You're the worst fucking person. You're part of the bad side of the gaming
I'm a
industry,
little
Carmen.
bit excited.
You're always
for...
arguing with me about all these shitty practices, and you're like, "Oh, but it's fine. Nintendo just wants to take the money from the children. They won't even know
I'm
what's
saying
happening."
it's fine. I'm saying I understand what they're going for. I am not saying it's right.
But you're like defending it. Why?
Maybe she's a prosecutor.
Maybe.
I'm what?
You're a prosecutor.
Maybe she gets a little kickback.
No, I don't. But I
You
am a
sure about that?
sci-fi nerd, and so with all of these like technological advances finally like gaining foothold, I'm a little bit little bit excited about it. A little bit. No, not for the.
I'm wondering if you should go into prison too instead, Carmen.
Yeah, yeah. Send the guards over to get Carmen and bring her over.
I'm just saying, if it was a little bit more of a product, I mean, a little bit
That is
more of a better
what
product.
a way to fucking phrase that. That's amazing and very accurate. If it was a little bit more of a product, wow. Wow.
You know what
Exactly.
Nintendo should do? It's how they got started. So they sold playing cards. They
Playing
should have a
cards.
description for playing cards. It's like everyone that has one back in the day gets charged for them.
God. I'm surprised they
Digital
didn't try to
playing
like
cards.
bring back all their old playing cards.
NFT playing cards.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm
We'll
surprised
give her
they didn't
ideas.
do that. Well, luckily, I think NFTs died, so
Oh yeah.
knock on wood. Oh God. But yeah, that would have been premium for Nintendo to capitalize on. But anyways, it's sad. Rest in peace, Nintendo. They have become the villain.
Mm.
You know who else is a villain? Sony.
I was going to say me, but okay.
I was gonna say Sephiroth.
Sony is pulling Little Big Planet 3 from the PlayStation Store because digital is so fun. Sony made the announcement on Twitter saying, after 10 years of playing, creating, sharing content in Little Big Planet 3, the game and our entire range of Little Big Planet DLC will be removed from the PlayStation Store on October 31st, 2024. This is a friendly heads up that if anyone in the community or any newcomers still wish to own a digital copy of Little Big Planet 3 or any Little Big Planet DLC currently available for purchase, this is your last chance to do so.
Buy now or forever hold
I'll
your
wait till
regret.
after.
Your regrets.
How are you going to wait till after?
So I'll pay for it now. I just won't download it, and then when it expires, I won't download it. I'll treat it like an NFT.
But what if you can't get the DLC because they pull it from the store some kind
That's
of
the
way? I
joke.
don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. And this sucks too. I think the bigger deal on this is the fact that all Little Big Planet DLC over the course of how long's Little Big Planet been around? Like fucking 15
10,
years.
15.
It's been around for a long time. So like all of that DLC, they had a shit ton of DLC and all of it's going away. And again, this goes back to like things being tied to like internet functionality. A lot of the fun of Little Big Planet was creating, and customization and making your characters and creating levels and stuff like that. So when you can no longer buy the things to customize your game and you can no longer create content and share it online and download other people's creations, this game is effectively broken anyways.
Hmm.
So
I know what's going to
that
happen.
sucks.
It's going to
What's
be
that?
Astro Bot Big Planet. So all the old DLC.
Probably.
Just turn
I
it to
mean,
Astro Bot.
yeah, it looks like they're already on their way, like halfway towards doing that. Because like, don't they have all these like costumes you can buy or download or whatever
Mm.
of like other Sony characters? Yeah, it's like they're already working their way towards that. But yeah, it's shitty. And to me, it seems like this is more of like a marketing ploy, like pushing that FOMO, to sell more copies, kind of a thing. Because let's be real, they're probably working on a fucking remaster or some bullshit that they're going to put on PS5. So it's like, oh, hey, this game's going away. Buy it quickly. Hurry up. You're never going to be able to play it again. Buy it. And then 2 months from now, they're going to be like, oh, by the way, Little Big Planet remastered coming to your PS5 for $80. Buy it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Worked for Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like this is one of the many reasons why giving companies like the control of digital distribution is not good. Like this particular situation isn't too terrible. I mean, it's shitty because of the DLC, like I mentioned, but in terms of like just the video game itself, like yeah, they're getting rid of the digital copy of Little Big Planet 3, but it does have a physical release. So in terms of like playing the game, you can still do that even though the digital goes away. But when it's an online only game and they do this, it's kind of a different situation because like there are going to be a lot of people that wanted to buy it and they've been waiting for it and it's like, oh well fuck, now it's going to go away and this is the only way that I can buy it. So what are they going to do? They're going to run out and buy it, right? So it's just having that control of the market is kind of unfair to the consumer. You should be able to buy that shit whenever the fuck you want to.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're out here like, hey, it's going away, come buy it now, like it feels kind of shady to me. I don't know. Fuck you, Sony.
Yeah, they're not doing well.
No, this episode in large part was going to be heavily criticizing Sony, but that's going to be next week because they are
Like, lately
fucking
it's
up
been
royally.
hard to defend Sony. So, yeah, let it rip.
If they keep going the way they're going, they might be in trouble sooner rather than later.
Well, I think Microsoft had their few weeks, and now it's Sony's turn to fuck things up.
Yeah, well, they're working on it. They're trying real hard. How about some good news?
Oh my god.
What? I know, right? That exists.
It's got to be sarcastic.
It's not actually. Physical games are still relevant. Most reports would have you believe that physical games are dead and digital sales represent as high as 90% of all game sales. Well, that's actually not entirely true. These reports are too broad and include all digital sales, such as indie games like My Name is Mayo, a game where you just click a jar of mayonnaise over and over again.
Best game ever.
And low-budget digital-only games that sell for like $2 to $5. Plus, how can you compare physical numbers versus digital only? Like they're comparing a massive market of digital-only games against the physical market where it's not even a fair comparison because a lot of those games you can't even buy physically if you wanted to. So like the math doesn't work. Thankfully, internal reports have surfaced of Sony's first-party individual sales, physical versus digital, and it might surprise you. I took a few examples from the report to kind of give you an idea of what some of these bigger titles look like. Ratchet. Oh,
I disappeared.
he's back.
Lee?
Are you hating on physical releases? How dare you?
The internet decided to hate on it on physical releases, not me.
Well, you're on the internet. You're part of the problem. But yeah, so the last Ratchet and Clank game, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, sold 76% of that physically. Returnal sold 61% physical, and Death Stranding sold 89% physical. So a lot of the first-party Sony titles that have a physical option are actually selling more physical than they are digital when given the option. It's just the market is so dramatically oversaturated with these tiny micro purchases and digital only games that it makes things seem like way worse than they actually are. And then, people throw around these numbers and it's like, oh God, everybody's buying digital. And yeah, there's a big market for digital there. And that makes sense, but it's not nearly as dramatic as people are making it seem.
Question that I don't know that you would have the answer for. When they're doing these, when they're comparing these different markets, and they're looking at digital only games, are they including ones that are purchased but are actually free, whether free for a limited time or entirely free? Because that's going to be a factor as well.
That's a good question. I don't know. Probably actually, because I know Microsoft does that with Game Pass. They do count like people that are downloading and playing things via Game Pass. They do count that as sales figures too.
Yeah.
So probably,
even though it's not really owned, even though they could just like delete shit from your okay. I don't want to. I'm
what are you going to defend it?
More. No. I'm saying I don't want to. I don't want to rehash what you are already adamant about, but I'm starting to understand a little bit more and more and more.
Yeah, she's getting it.
And
Hey,
I'm just saying, I understand it now. I'm
It only took
I
100
almost said
Wardcasts.
coming
She's
around.
getting-
I almost said I'm coming around, but like I'm understanding your position.
you know what you have?
Shush it. What?
You have toxic positivity.
How dare you? No, I
Toxic
don't.
positivity. That is a
I do
real
not.
thing.
You
Like
do.
I know it is a real thing,
like
and
it is good to be positive and look on the bright side and everything, but like when you're overly positive and you give everything the benefit of the doubt and you just assume that everything is great and wonderful, that creates all kinds of fucking problems.
look, if you knew me and my well, I mean, if in my day to day, look,
Yeah.
it's tempered with some other things, okay? But I like to think that I am appropriately the appropriate amount of positive
Did
in
you hear the
certain
things you've
aspects.
defended today?
Shut your
Take
biscuits.
advantage of the children. They won't even notice it.
No,
Well, that
I'm
sounded
saying
way
I
worse, actually.
understand their position. I'm
I
not
should have
saying that I
recorded
condone it.
that.
I'm not saying I think it's even remotely good. I'm saying that I bet that's what they're going for. I was not defending it.
It's just a lot
I
of
was
people have
saying,
that
I
mentality of
see
like,
you,
oh God,
Nintendo.
they're attacking this thing. I need to defend it. And like, no, you don't. You don't have to defend everything. Some things don't deserve being defended. Like there are bad things happening, and you shouldn't defend those things.
I'm just
Even if
saying,
they're claiming like, oh, we're doing this in the name of justice and goodness, and we're a good company and you should love us. So
You know
just
that Hitler
believe
gets
the
a
bad
bad
things
rap.
that we're saying.
Mm.
What's that? Yeah, oh God, shut the fuck up.
He gets shit on every day. I mean, what's he ever done?
Yeah. Wow. Anyway.
His art wasn't that bad.
But yeah, the to wrap up this news piece is that the problem here is like companies like Sony don't want to share reports like this because like they're happy, they're content with the market quietly going into the digital stratosphere, and like they can live there and take advantage of that, when that's not the reality. That's not what the consumers want. That's not where they're spending their money, and there's reports out there that confirm that, but they're not sharing those. But sure as shit, every quarter, every earnings call, hey, everybody, look at our sales. And they're fucking 90% digital. Oh, digital's fine and good, and you should buy digital. They share
If
those reports. But when it shows like, hey, people are actually liking and paying for physical more than digital, oh, let's not talk about that because
if
they
you
can't
control the
control
narrative, you control the future.
that. Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. But
I see you,
anywho.
Sony.
This one's kind of relevant to what we were talking about, but Steam now warns customers they're buying a license instead of a game. We're reaching the people. The message is spreading, everybody. Currently, when you go to purchase a game on Steam, it will tell you a purchase of a digital product grants a license for the product on Steam. And then it links you to the Steam terms of service. It's not saying you're purchasing this game. It under the confirm purchase or whatever, right underneath that button, it gives you this message. It tells you, hey, you're buying a license and it's tied to our terms of service. Be aware. So they're getting to the point where they have to tell consumers what they're actually buying, or not buying, rather. So that's good. This is likely a result of California Governor Gavin Newsom signing a law that forces digital marketplaces to make it clear to customers buying digital content that they are buying a license, not a product. The law AB 2426 prohibits online storefronts from using the words buy, purchase, or any other term which is which a reasonable person would understand to confirm or to, oh my God, I can't fucking read. Let me try
Convey?
that again. No, confer,
Confer.
which a reasonable person would understand to confer an unrestricted ownership on a digital good. So yeah, again, there's a misconception there, right? I feel like a lot of the popularity of digital is that people still believe that they own it because they never clarify like what you're actually paying for. So this law has been passed. It is only in California, but I'm hoping this will start to spread and other states will adopt this. Um, but yeah, I think that's very important that we're crystal clear on like, what are you buying? What are you paying for? Do you own
What are
this?
you
What is it?
buying?
And honestly, I feel like just like when you pop in a game and you have to fucking agree to a terms of service page, you got to scroll to the bottom and check a box and agree before you can even play the game. I feel like something similar should happen for every game you purchase, where it's like, before you buy this, hey, this is what you're getting yourself into. You have to check this box and agree to what you're buying before you buy it. And I mean, again, most people are going to just not read that and just click it and download it anyway. But at least something is being done to make people aware. There might be some people out there that are like, hey, I never had to agree to anything before I bought a game before. Maybe I'll read through this or something like that. And, at least there's a chance of educating some people. And as like maybe a small minority of people are kind of reading through that and educating themselves, they'll talk about it. They'll tell people that they know what's actually going on, and it can kind of spread a little bit more through word of mouth. But, something has to be done so that people are actually learning about, what a modern video game purchase looks like, when you're buying digital. So yeah, I thought this was really good that we're taking steps towards that end. The law is set to go into effect next year, so it's good.
Can I Pollyanna one more time?
Go for it.
I feel like, or I hope that they would eventually put a law into effect that would minimize the legalese. And I'm not saying that we should all be dumb people who don't know how to read or are unfamiliar with the law, but I do feel like the amount of legal jargon and the terms of service is just unfucking necessary. I feel like there must be a way that they might be able to trim the fat on that and kind of parse it down and put it into a little bit more of a common layman's terms, common vernacular instead of just all that dang legalese. And then maybe people would actually bother to read it if it was like a third of the length that it currently is. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like they should maybe like bullet point the important things, so that like, and then you could be like, you could just have like at the top, purchasing this item is a license. You do not own this. And this could result in XYZ. For more information, click here. Something like that, I feel like should be mandated because like, yeah, like you said, like nobody's reading through that shit, like, or even if they read through it, it's so complicated and lawyers speak, and like a lot of people can't wrap their head around what that even fucking means,
Oh
even if they
yeah.
do take the time to read it. So like,
Yeah, I thought it was
we
smart
need to
until
find, especially because like it's going to get so out of control for certain people where it's like literally, you have people out there that have physical video game collections that are worth, tens of
thousands.
or hundreds of thousands of dollars because they've been collecting since they were a kid, right? And so that's kind of an investment, not to say they're going to sell it or whatever, but hey, they are spending a shit ton of money that actually holds value to some degree. And I feel like that matters. That's important because it is so much money. And if you fast forward to 10, 20 years from now, and you have a modern audience that's throwing in tens of thousands of dollars on a game collection, and they literally own nothing and they have nothing to show for it, I feel like that is kind of fucked up. I feel like companies are taking advantage of people and they're just taking all this money and nobody has anything to show for it. It's just a different environment. It's a different experience, and it's very one-sided. The corporations are making shit tons of money, and the consumers are just going into debt in the process, and they have nothing to show for it in the end. And that's just not, it's not healthy. That's not a healthy environment for any ecosystem. So
Sure.
yeah, I just, something has to be done before things get too fucking out of control, where we do find some way to communicate, like, what are you buying? What does it mean? How do we get people to read it? How can we streamline it and make people understand? There's got to be a way to do that.
They can read it while the game's installing.
Yeah. Some people have a couple hours to, while they're waiting for that shit to install. Here, read this book. But yeah.
It's like, look for the swear words. I bet you can't find them all.
Yeah. All right, we got one more. What the hell is going on with Until Dawn? This used to be a good game that had a lot of people, like, it had a kind of a cult following and a lot of people really liked it. I liked it, but apparently they want to see this franchise burn because there's a lot of shit going on with it right now. So the Until Dawn remake launched, and it's doing real bad. Comparing the game to other recently released Sony titles, Until Dawn Remastered is 28% behind the disaster that was Concord. It has 98.5% fewer players than The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster, and 95.5% less players than Astrobot. Not good. For a brand new Sony release, not good. This is likely due to several factors, including almost no marketing, which, brilliant. Nobody knows this game even exists. So if they would have bought it, they can't because they don't even know it's there. Criticism for the game's poor performance and bad lighting compared to the original. It's not getting reviewed very well. A $60 price tag for a remake, or a remaster rather, which is way too expensive. And the fact that it launched next to Silent Hill 2 Remake is probably not very wise, considering they're both kind of in the same category. And one of those has way more appeal than the other. And also, who asked for this? You know what I mean? Like, who is this for? What the fuck? Nobody wanted this. Nobody asked for this. It's not needed.
I heard there's a new ending, though.
Yeah, we'll kind of get into that a little bit. We're not going to go into detail, but we'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah, so it's not selling very well. Not good. And to sweeten the deal, Sony has apparently removed the original Until Dawn from the PlayStation Store in some regions. So depending on where you live, if you want to play it digitally, you have to play the shittier, overpriced remake. Though it is being mentioned that the delisting may be a glitch related to the renaming of the title. They changed the title name to Until Dawn 2015. So people are theorizing it might be a glitch tied to that. But either way, the fact that it's disappearing in some markets raises concerns. And, this wouldn't be the first instance of an older version of a game being pulled to make room for a remaster or a new version. Like we just talked about Horizon, right? This is becoming a normal practice for them to... Carmen, is your house blowing up? Is there a plane behind you? Okay, it's better. Thank you.
I was...
I mean, I can still hear it, so if you
Is
can
this
make it
the
go away,
noise?
that'd be great.
Is this the noise?
No.
Mm-mm.
Then I
Yeah, something's going on in your background that's really, really loud. Can you mute? Just like mute in between speaking, because it's really bad. It's like a high pitch, like the worst possible scenario for a podcast. But anyways, what the fuck was I saying? Yeah, but like Horizon, like we're doing more and more remasters and remakes and stuff like this, and it's becoming more commonplace to just like remove the original and force people to buy the new thing. And it doesn't matter if that's the better thing. It's just the new thing, and we want your money, so buy that. We don't give a fuck if you want to play the higher quality version that's not all buggy and broken and has a graphics engine that is garbage. Give us $60 for the new one. It's just, we're normalizing that. So if they did remove it, or if they're going to remove it, I mean, I would not be surprised, but there is a chance it was a glitch. So we'll have to see. And then that's not it. Before we even knew the game was going to be a massive flop, the developer Ballistic Moon quietly laid off an unknown number of employees before the launch of the game even happened. That's also another thing that's becoming common practice. It's like, hey guys, we finished the game. You 20 people, you're all fired. Like, that's becoming a normal thing that's happening. It's like, we don't know if it's going to sell well or not. It doesn't matter. You're fired. So not great. And I mean, this has kind of been a thing that's been around like since the beginning days of video game development, where like there are a lot of like kind of contract oriented developers where they're kind of freelance. So like, yeah, they'll sign on to develop, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, or whatever. Once those are done, their contract's up and they're gone. But that's a different scenario than being hired on as a position. You work there for 2 years, you put out your latest game, and then you're terminated. You're laid off. Like, that's just kind of fucked up because
There's going to be no salaryman.
yeah, like and again, there's that transparency, that understanding of like, okay, I know I'm freelance work. I know I signed a contract to do X amount of games, so I can prepare for the day where I'm going to be let go. Maybe there's an opportunity to stay on, but you can't count on that because there's an understanding in place already, and that's fine. But if you're hired on as like an employee of the company and everything's going great, you've been here for a couple of years, you just made a game you're proud of, and then boom, you're gone. Not so great. So, and I can't remember what it was, but there was a really big game release. And they did the same thing. Like it was a big company with like a really high AAA, high budget release. And before it even came out, they fired a bunch of people. And that's just not the right thing to do. It's not like they're a little indie developer that, they can't keep on these employees to, they got to kind of cut where they can to make ends meet, kind of a situation. It's a big company that has tons of money, and they're just getting rid of people to cut off the bottom line, to make more profit. And that's not great, especially in modern day ecosystem where we're constantly firing and laying off people left and right. Any company that can get away with keeping on excess employees should probably do so, especially if they're doing good work. They're making high quality products, and those products go on to make, tons of money, or potentially will go on to make tons of money. If there's not a need to terminate these people, it's kind of an asshole move to do if you're just doing it to make more money, to increase your profit. But again, it's becoming normal. It's not good. And that's not it. While we wait for the Until Dawn IP to continue burning to the ground, apparently a sequel has been leaked. And given current events, it's probably never going to see the light of day, but the new remake adds a few extra endgame cutscenes that imply a sequel is coming. And in light of that, multiple sources have claimed to know of a in-development sequel, going as far as to name drop the developer being Sony's recently acquired Fire Sprite Studio. So apparently there's people within the industry that's aware of the developer that's working on the sequel. But this is why you don't do this. This is why you don't start, like, you don't greenlight a sequel for a game that's not even out yet. Like, you're just throwing money in the fire, because if that game doesn't do well enough to justify a sequel, that sequel's not going to come out. So whatever money you put into that shit, you just threw it away. So yeah, they probably thought that like, oh, there's going to be all this renewed excitement. People are going to buy the remake. It's a big IP. It's going to do real well. We got a sequel coming up. No, nobody knows this game came out. The people that do know about it think it's garbage, and you're working on a sequel. Congratulations. Way to go. Way to bleed money. And then studios like this blame the audience for not buying their game. Oh, it's your fault. Games are so expensive. You did this to us. Maybe plan better. Maybe have a better roadmap. And that's still not all. Regardless of the state of the Until Dawn video games, the Until Dawn movie is happening. It has officially wrapped filming. But will there be an audience left to watch it? Probably not. The movie was just announced back in January of this year and wrapped filming on October 4th. It's a pretty quick turnaround. But again, I think they had a plan. They're like, oh, the remake, it's going to sell really well. We got the movie coming out. People are definitely going to want a sequel. No, doesn't work like that. One fucking thing at a time. You know, I can't think of a single franchise, like a new IP that they thought was going to be a franchise, or an old IP even that they were trying to turn into a franchise, where it's like they're trying to like make it a multimedia experience that actually worked out. It's like, oh, we got this IP, it's going to be a movie, it's going to be a comic book, we're going to do 3 games. And like this is all planned out before they released a single game. You know, they put out maybe 1 or 2 trailers and they just assume that everyone's going to love it and it's going to do so well and people are just going to want all these things. Like every time they do that, it fails. So don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll just wait for it to come on the PlayStation Plus and then play it then. Like I did with the original.
Yeah, it probably will. It probably will. I mean, honestly, that'll probably be a game that's free with PlayStation Plus at some point because nobody's going to buy it. And those tend to be the games that they give us for free. So there you go. I'll play it at that point too. If I can play it for free, I'll check it out. But yeah, this wouldn't have been worth $30, and they're trying to get 60 out of it. Like, come on, Sony, what the fuck are you doing? Stupid.
What's the sequel going to be called? After Dawn? Before Midnight?
They're going to skip 2 and they're just going to do Until Dawn 3.
Remaster.
Yeah, remaster deluxe. Alrighty, that has been the news. The video game landscape is just wait till next week. things are real rough. I mean, this compared to next week, you might as well just think that this was like the happy-go-lucky positive video game industry podcast, because things are going to take a real fucking sharp turn because things are getting bad. Anyway, video games, everybody. What a fun time. What a time to be alive.
You know what time it is?
Time for a game.
Alright, motherfuckers, it's game time.
Alright, let's do 8-bit.
Oh,
Time
fuck.
for 8-bit.
Ah,
I don't know why I went with Mass Effect
Where did-
kind of background on that
where
one.
did it go?
Alright, in this game there are 8 pictures of items/characters found in video games. All you have to do is identify what those 8 pictures are. And tell me what the game is from. So tell me what it is and where the game's from.
I'm having feelings about the first one
How dare you on the first one?
too.
The first one is Resident Evil 7.
So,
Hey, at least he didn't do Village. So
We'll do
Oh,
it next week.
number 8.
Yeah.
I got that one. That's Alice from Detroit.
Is
hey, well
number
done.
is number 4 from Medal of Honor for the PS1 or
It
the?
is
What?
from Medal of Honor on the PS1.
I thought it might be Underground because that also came out on PS1.
Yeah, no, this is first Medal of Honor.
Fair enough.
So you got 1, 4, and 8. What's next? Number 2?
7 is Super Mario Sunshine. It's Flood.
Yep.
oh. 2 is Metal Gear 2.
Nope.
No.
1?
So it's Metal Gear Rex's Radon.
I mean, 6 is fucking one of the Halos. They all look the fucking same. I'm gonna go Halo 3.
I'd say Infinite.
It's one of those turrety things, right?
It's actually just a thing that Lee has. It's the Halo Master Chief helmet. So.
The helmet.
Oh, that's based on Halo 3. I win. I've done it.
All right.
What's 5?
Yeah, what the shit is 5?
Is that so? Is it Project Zero / Fatal Frame?
Yep.
It is. Well done. And then what's number 3? That's the last one.
Is 3
Well, who's
DMC Devil May Cry?
Who's on the hand grips?
That's what I'm trying to work out.
Because it makes me think of Ebony and Ivory from Devil May Cry, but it looks.
Yes, it is Ebony and Ivory.
Oh, there you go.
But is it from DMC or is it from an actual Devil May Cry?
I got Devil May Cry 1.
How's that?
I don't think it had the pictures.
No,
Didn't he just say that's the same thing twice?
That could be from 5.
It could be.
It's got to be because like the models are highly detailed.
Yeah.
All right, well done. You did that a lot quicker than the last previous.
Hey!
I didn't hear what 7 was.
7. What was 7? That was
Like
Flood.
a what?
Flood. It's Super Mario Galaxy.
Sunshine.
Sunshine, whatever.
Super Mario Flood? I want to play that. The sequel to Super Mario Sunshine with a dark twist.
Where see James Sunderland swimming in the surface on surface water.
All right.
This is great.
For my last game, it is Attention Seekers. We played this a long time ago, so here we go.
Time for some attention seekers. Pay close attention to the following video and answer the questions after.
I'm having way too much fun with the AI. Alright, Sean's going to play a video and you guys have to pay attention to the video and then I will ask you questions.
All right, here we go.
1.1. Jorby Boomba. We're new. Ready. Fight. Just do it.
Yes.
Alright, so question 1. Does anyone know the title of that game?
Tekken 2? Or no?
No, it's definitely not.
Wait, was it Virtual Fighter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they look the same.
Tekken 3.
Oh, get out! Get out, Carmen! How dare you, Carmen?
That's not like, oh, is it Fighter Maker?
Virtual Fighter.
Look, I don't know what it is, but I know it's not any of those.
It came out on the N64.
On the N64?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I know what it is.
Any more guesses, chat?
Question: Was it featured on the worst fighting game series that Matt Muscles does on YouTube?
It could have been.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Here's a better question. Here's a better question. Does anybody remember the character Mei Ling? Because maybe if you remember the name, you'll remember the game.
It's such a fucking generic ass fighting character name.
I know a Mei Ling from a different series.
Yeah, it's definitely not Dead or Alive 1 because there's I don't think the character Leon wasn't part of the first one and definitely doesn't look like that, so it's definitely not that.
Okay.
It is funny though, because Dead or Alive does have a Mei Ling and a Leon.
Have your final guesses?
No.
The video game.
Nintendo 64 fighting game.
Fighter
Lee?
64. I'm just making up names.
No, I can't get it.
It is Fighter's Destiny for the N64, which I have
Never
a copy
even
of.
heard of that.
I recorded that footage. So
You have that game?
I had it.
Wow.
I
And then after
recorded
you
it.
recorded this footage, you threw it directly in the trash.
I mean, you could record it through emulation, so
Yeah, I could have, but I actually had the physical things. Trying to record off an N64, that was tricky. I mean, you think
Yeah.
that Golden, that last week's thing with GoldenEye, I had that footage as well. That was my recording of it. Everything for last week, that was my recordings. So I just finally had a use for it.
nice.
All right, so that's question 1. We got 4 other questions. Question 2: how many kicks did land on the other opponent for the first round to get the first point in the round? How many kicks hit Leon?
4?
7? 7!
7.
Either 2 or 4.
I was trying to count all the fucking obscure things, and that's one that I did not. God damn it.
Lee?
I'll say 5.
The answer is 1.
Wow.
Only 1 kick connected with the Leon character, the other fighter.
You didn't say about connecting.
Yeah, I said connected.
You did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I must be going deaf. Sorry.
Alright, question 3. How many stars are displayed altogether?
7. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, let him finish.
14? Or wait,
Any other guesses?
I can't math.
5.
I didn't get the rest of the question.
How many stars are displayed altogether?
Right. 6. Rough guess.
Sean got it right. It's 14.
See, that was one of the random things I counted.
The fuck?
So
Where?
there's 7 and each
What?
under the name of the character.
Oh,
There's 7 stars. Alright. Question 4. What does the commentator say in the clip?
Something backwards.
No. This isn't reverse, remember.
It's,
Although this could be used as a clip.
It's like, oh,
it was like.
Was it him declaring the round belonged to Mei Ling?
There was 4 things he said. One of them was a Nike catchphrase.
Was it
Just
ready,
do it.
fight?
how is that a Nike catchphrase?
Just do it. Yeah, that's a Nike one. So, Common said ready, fight. Yeah. So we got ready, fight, and just do it. What was the other 2?
Get fucked.
Any other guesses?
Nope.
Round
so
2?
The no, the answers are out. 1.1. Ready, fight, just do it. Nike. All right, and the last question: who can you see? Which character can you see in the arch in the background?
Was it Kirby?
It was Kirby. Well done.
That's the one thing I took notice of.
It's like the easiest thing to notice. In fact, I was kind of expecting you not to even acknowledge it because it was so obvious. That would have been funny, actually.
See, that's the thing. When I went back to think about this game, I was like, right, what can I add to throw people off? So, just for a little bonus thing, what did people catch up from the clip. That wasn't. So
Jack
with the
Diddley.
Something that wasn't supposed to be there, or what?
Yeah, so like any hidden things. So did anyone notice the toilet paper?
No.
I thought I saw
I-
a face superimposed on a sunset or something. I don't know.
I think I
Where the
saw
hell was
some
the toilet paper?
We can play it again in a minute, but so there's toilet paper, the word jester, and I got a voice clip of The Sims, someone from Sims getting Simlish, added that to it.
That's the zoop, 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 zoop.
Yeah. So there we go. Only one kid connected.
On point one.
Just,
Oh, yep, right there.
I knew. Simlish. Kirby.
Ready. Fight. Just do it.
And then I did it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Suplex missed. And that's my games. Wasn't that exciting? And a lot shorter than fucking last week.
Good job. Good job.
Anyone else have any games?
I could scrounge up a Pictionary. I got my Pictions ready to nary. I just need to pull it up.
Ooh.
A second.
Oh.
Ooh.
Closed it. Gotta reopen it. Oh no, I'm opening the wrong thing. Shut up. Let's see. I go up. And I go to the... Where are the game? Hey.
What?
Carmen, we're going to have to do something about your background noise. It's real bad.
It's my computer itself.
Might be
Didn't I
time
buy
for a
you a
new
cube?
computer. Like, fuck.
Did I buy you a cube where you can put the microphone in?
Yes.
Are you using it?
I had to package everything and put it on the top shelf. It's now disassembled.
Well, it's time to reassemble it before next time. Because it's real
okay,
bad.
I'm ready.
Real
I'm
bad.
sorry. All right, where did you go? There we a share. Where did it go? It went
A
here.
shit?
A shit. Let's see. Whoa! Now, where's my draws? Oh no. Sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm somebody else. Where did it go? It was supposed to open in you know what?
You know what?
You know what? I opened it wrong. I opened it wrong. So how about them news? No, how about them
All right.
sports?
We'll do read your comments and we can do your game next time.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Preparation.
Read your
No,
comments
I
down. Read
closed
your own
it.
comments,
I'm gonna
motherfucker.
open it again.
Yeah, we're going to do read comments thing. Alright, okay.
It's Halloweeny.
What's Halloweeny?
Aren't there pumpkins? Those are carrots. What the fuck?
They are carrots.
Never mind.
There's a reason for it, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, so video source. These coming from Days of Our Lives, Resident Evil original text list opening. Do you like the little videotape I put on top?
Nice.
Yeah, video source. The only thing wrong with it comes from Resident Evil 7. So
How dare you? You could have used Silent Hill too.
Well, I didn't think of Silent Hill 2. Alright, so first comment is from the Tragic Prince 13. Stop coming up with private chat, so I have to minimize it. Alright. I remember this song. Your intro was long. Smiley face. Great that you have returned. Question 1. Why was the intro so long?
Probably mostly I just didn't think about it. I was more concerned about making something that I enjoyed and that I thought was cool rather than like how long it was. So that's something I became more aware of down the road.
It's
Kind of
fancy.
looking at it in terms of like more of like, oh, like what's a TV show like? How long's the intro? I didn't start thinking about things more critically until later.
Yeah. All right,
That's why I
question 2.
shortened it down the road. And then people complained, you can't win no matter what you do.
Just don't have an intro.
Had no intro.
Just get right into Leon trying to kill people with a spoon. Alright, question 2. Have you got another intro for season 2 of Duel?
Not ready to go, but I do have ideas.
Okay. Next comment is from. I have to read the document because I can't read it. YW4553. What's with the random numbers, people? Comment is, I remember, dude. I enjoyed listening to the song so much when I first heard of it on your series back in high school. Still a banger. Question 3. What do you think makes the song a banger?
That's a good question. I don't think that's something I can really answer. It's not like, I had that put together thinking like, oh, this is going to be the shit. Everyone's going to love it. I just wanted something cool that I thought fit and I liked it. And that's kind of as far as it went. I never would have thought that it would have gotten the reception that it did. Like a lot of people really, really liked it. And I thought that was really cool, but it was very unexpected. So I don't know. I don't know what people find so amazing about it. You'd have to ask them.
And if people are wondering why Carrot's in the background, it's because the song is done by Carrot Works.
How about you guys? Do any of you guys like the song? And if so, like what is something that you like it for?
It's my alarm ringtone. It's like ding, 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 ding. So it wakes me up. I don't need to spend nights.
So you like it
fucking...
because you like it because it wakes you up? Is that your answer?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That is the most non-answer ever.
It's like, it's time for duel. Get up. Stop stabbing people.
I have a particular affinity for the instrumental version, personally. And I think that there is a reason that I don't have the language for because I'm not a musician per se, but it the like violin sounds or whatever, it starts off reminiscent to sort of like it fits the genre of the horror video game, but it's peppy.
That is not peppy is not a word I would use for that song.
Okay, it's rather fast. It's not like, because it has this like, I don't have the right language for it, but it has this like overbeat that makes it go along fast. It has like a fast beats per minute. It's like bum 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 bum. Like it's fast, it's happy, but it has okay, bum, 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 bum. I'm not a musician, I can't keep the time, but it like has this overlayer of like of peppy with the like on top of the slower, more dramatic instrumentals. It's like it's a fusion. But the guy who did it knew what he was doing.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I didn't get more criticism about it, just because like tonally, like it does kind of have like upper beat stuff to it, but it is kind of mellow and like lower key, like it's not high energy. And if you contrast that with like, okay, Resident Evil action game, I mean, it is a horror game, yes, but like it's more of an action game, let's be real. So it's like you have action game with lower energy intro song. Like I feel like there was the potential for that to be unappealing to that kind of an audience. So the fact that it went the other way is kind of surprising.
But I promise you it's both, because I noticed there's this layering. It's like the slow thing, and then bum 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 bum, and it's like bum 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 bum. You know what I'm saying?
See, and if it wasn't as long as it is, you wouldn't even hear that part of the song. So that's why it's so long. There you go. Full circle.
Lee, any comments?
I got lost in Carmen's description, so move on.
It's good shit.
Just imagine Mario
Oh, don't go there.
Right, okay.
jumping on top of stuff,
What?
and then like a little ocean underneath.
You are a
The
Nintendo
hell
shill,
are
aren't
you
you?
talking about? You need an alarmo.
You need to go back to sleep.
I'm trying to make a visual representation of how I experience the song.
It's not helping.
You go from Days of Our Lives Resident Evil to Mario in the water.
Specifically went to Mario Paint somehow. What the fuck?
How the fuck did that even happen?
I don't know.
I would love to recreate it in Mario Paint if I still had Mario Paint.
I'll do it for you.
Well,
Anyway, this has been episode 251. Thanks. While I'm doing this, can you mute your microphone, please, before I lose my mind in my ears? This has been episode 251. Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you enjoy the podcast or any of the content at the Ward, please consider helping us grow by sharing our content. I hear you. I hear you. Liking the video and subscribing. You can also support us through patreon.com/thewordproductions to get exclusive content. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
If you don't subscribe to the Ward Production